We are back at Jab's podcast, and we have a special guest.
Very special.
Jake Paul.
Hey.
Dude, like...
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you for, like, doing this, dude. Like, in a matter of, like, 2 days. Like,
no, it's so dope to see your house and to be here, man. Obviously, we go back to when we first met.
Yeah, the Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, and then going to town hall and yeah, Cleveland's in the house, baby. We're putting Cleveland on the map.
Yeah, so today we got to go to the press conference for you and Woodley. That was Jamie went with me. Jonathan wasn't with us because he's fishing because he's cool. But anyway.
He's wearing short shorts and fishing.
I got the short Lululemons on today.
Of course you do. But yeah, we didn't know what to expect, because I've told Jamie I've never been part of something like that. Like, and I've seen it on TV, and we were driving home. We were both talking like, man, that was pretty cool. It was a cool experience. Just the whole.
It was electric.
Yeah.
Dude, like I didn't know what to expect either. And you dream of something, you envision it in your head, and it was sort of even better than what I thought. Like the massive Jumbotron being lowered all the way to the floor. There was a couple hundred people there, which I wasn't expecting, that they were cheering and screaming. And I was like, this is super cool, because I hadn't experienced an audience yet. Since COVID, I haven't been able to fight in front of an audience, have press conferences with any bit of an audience. So
by far the coolest backdrop of any press conference I've ever seen in my life. That was unbelievable.
Because I'm a dumbass. I'm like, oh wow, the thing goes lower. Like cool. Like guys,
I didn't know that either.
Okay, good. So okay. Good. We're in together.
I'm pretty sure like how is that even possible?
Yeah,
is it like an electric arm?
It's got a motor.
Really?
Yeah, it's got a motor and pulleys that go down.
I looked it up, dude. I looked it up. Hey, Jonathan, remember where you went? Oh, that's right. You didn't go because you were fishing.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Hey, you have any questions? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, of course I got questions. No, I was going to say, so obviously you're from Cleveland. You're a hometown guy like all of us. What's it like coming back when you're in front of everybody, all the Cleveland people supporting you, everything like that? I mean, how does that feel to come home?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. I feel like I'm living the dream. Like I can't even believe it. I'm sort of like trying to like wake up, right? Like it doesn't feel real yet. I think I need to like pinch myself, because I'm just driving by the arena that I used to go to for the Cavs games time and time again, seeing the Progressive Field. And I'm like, but this time my poster's on the side of the building and my mom is here with me.
She's
like
awesome. I met her earlier.
She's the best.
Sweet lady. Such a sweetheart.
So amazing. And to share that moment with her, and like, it's just perfect timing, honestly. And the perfect place to do it. When we first came up with the idea, I was like, the Cleveland is amazing. And I wanted to be able to have my fans and the young kids who live here be able to come out to their first probably fight maybe ever that they've gone to, because I remember when I was a kid, I would go watch LeBron. But now the kids maybe are going to go watch Jake Paul, which is pretty cool.
That's crazy, right? I mean, you've come a long way, man.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that Stipe beat me to the punch, because I was just thinking of things that I wanted to talk to you about. And I was like, man, your mom is the shit.
She was awesome.
She was holding her rosary. Yeah. Like she's a mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she was awesome. Yeah.
Seriously. She's like sending prayers all the time. Cause the fight, she gets scared and nervous, and it's like,
what's your baby boy? She doesn't want to see you get hurt.
Exactly. And it's like, the fight business is it's the craziest business that there is, I think.
Yeah, no question. You're talking about rosary and stuff. My grandma, 88-year-old woman, when I fought my first fight in UFC against Joey Beltran, she legit was walking down her little, she has a little duplex, her little hallway in her duplex, and she's walking back and forth, praying. She legit, my grandfather passed away, in 2001. And she looked at his picture. She's like, if he does not win tonight, I will never pray for you. And she, she's crazy.
She took that serious.
She's I won. Thank God.
Croatians.
Right.
So many energy.
Yeah, right. It was crazy, dude. But it doesn't surprise me. No, she's nuts. And actually, she actually went to my fight. It's funny. My mom's never been to a fight. My grandma went to the fight in Cleveland. She was 80. 84 at the time.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she went to the fight.
Jake, does your mom watch the fight, Jake?
Yeah, she does. I don't get nervous for my fights at all.
God bless you.
I'm very like stoic and just like having fun, and I'm almost like a robot, and I just know I did everything right in camp. But when I'm going to watch my brother fight, I'm so nervous and like sweating, and because I'm not in control.
Yeah.
And so it's the weirdest thing. But even being there today, I was like trying to, envision fight night to get myself used to that feeling. Cause you were talking about how when you fought here, you sort of got that adrenaline dump because it was your hometown and there was those nerves and everything. So I'm just trying to be cognizant of that and like not get too overwhelmed and not give too much emotion to anything.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. And it's funny you say that. Like same way I get more nervous for my friends fighting because you can't go in there and help them. You see everything happening, but they don't see it. And then, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it does, but like, you just like, oh my God, like just go to your right. I get it.
Do this, do that.
Yeah.
I was screaming when my brother was fighting Mayweather. I lost my voice.
It's one of my favorites. So I've been doing a little research knowing that you were coming here. That video that you did, like my proudest day as a brother. Dude, that was awesome. That video was incredible. Like,
Thank you.
Were going crazy. That cop that security guy,
just like staring.
He was just staring at, like, his job was seriously just to control you. But that video,
you can't control him.
That video was everything, man. It was
like that for like 8 rounds. Yeah. Like we only put in like 30 seconds of me screaming. It was literally like that for 8 rounds. And thank God my brother, after the fight was like, yo, you're the only person that I heard in the ring because of how loud I was being.
Yeah.
So like
even over his coaches.
Yeah, no, he said he didn't hear his coaches. So I was telling him like what I was seeing and he actually heard it and applied it.
That's great.
So
that's great. That's like, my only here is my coaches. Well, it was actually my coach, Steve. He's like, he's like more my guy, makes me feel good about myself, but he has the deepest voice. And by the time 30 seconds in the first round goes, my head coach loses his voice. So he starts telling him what to say.
Yeah.
So I usually hear him and then I can hear my wife.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you only hear certain voices. My brother's coach is like a little bit older and he's got like a raspy, quiet voice.
Yeah.
Like I can project my voice. Like I'm a very loud person if I want to be. So yeah, it's like you hear that when you're in the cage or the ring, you hear, that very specific voice that stands out. Going,
jab, move to right, jab. My wife, fuck him off, fuck him off. No, seriously, I'm gonna fight. It's embarrassing.
I got to imagine, like you're saying, you catch those specific voices, like when you're fighting. It's like those things that like your brain just latches onto, and you're like, oh, that's that familiar thing that I recognize. Now, if you were talking about how you're yelling for 8 rounds with Logan, I got to imagine that's almost as exhausting as you being in the fight itself.
I was drenched in sweat at the end of the 8 rounds. I was wearing like a nice outfit and like completely ruined it. Like I needed to take a shower after. It was legitimately a workout. I was like, I just fought 8 rounds.
You're coming out, you're like, watch your great fight.
Seriously, I went back into the locker room, chugged a bottle of water, and like laid down on the couch and like for like 2 minutes waiting for him to come back from all of the press after. So
your brother comes in, hey, do you mind if I lay down? You're like, no, dude,
I'm exhausted.
I was screaming for you. I need 2 minutes. Oh, that's fantastic. So what I know you guys how you got all started with. What's the guy from the UK, the other YouTuber?
KSI.
So that's how you guys started boxing. That's how it started. And then when did like the switch turn? Like, man, you know what? I really want to fight some dudes.
So after my first pro fight, so leading up to my first pro fight, I was training with Sugar Shane Mosley.
Yeah.
And he was always like, man, you have power. Like you're doing great. And the night before the fight, he was like, man, I think you're going to knock him out in the first round. And I was like, yeah, like for sure. But I didn't really know, my skill level and it was my first pro fight with no headgear and the 10-ounce gloves. And so I go in there, TKO the guy in the first round.
Great feeling, right?
And I'm like, I'm addicted to this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I get it.
That was the best feeling in the world. It's like cutting warm butter when you get the KO.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying. And from that moment on, I was like, wow, I can really make a career out of this. And I just had the biggest itch and just got right back to training and was actually in Calabasas, like training. And then COVID hit and I was in quarantine with my coach. And the only thing there was to do was to train.
Yeah.
So like I was training, like I was going into a fight for 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
But I didn't even have a fight scheduled. So I was just getting in like the extra reps, the extra time.
That's awesome.
Did you picture this when you were younger? I mean, was this something you wanted to do as a kid?
I always wanted to be a pro athlete, like I wanted to go to the NFL, I was always inspired by like LeBron. But I didn't think I would end up boxing.
Okay.
But you know, being a wrestler, I have that like wrestling background. It's still like a one-on-one combat sport. So, you know, it makes a ton of sense. And I finally feel like all my skills have combined into being like a perfect fit.
You're where
for
you're
the
supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For the sport of boxing, like the press, the media, the videos, the content, you know, all of that combined with the athletic side, and then actually like having to win the fights and the work ethic. Because being from Ohio, it's like, you know, I was working with my dad, long hours. Like he was just did all these odd jobs. We would clean out hoarders' houses. We would mow lawns.
You probably found some cool shit though.
Dude, we found a lot of cool shit.
That's the shit I'm into, dude. Because I used to evict houses, dude. Like, I've actually evicted one house, but like before, usually they'd be moved out by then. So like we'd go in there and clean it out. Besides that, but you probably have way better shit. But like, some of the shit we had was like disgusting. But like,
we found some really cool stuff, and then found some really weird stuff. But like this house, like this was a legit hoarder. Like you walk in the front door, and there's like 2 feet worth of stuff.
Oh Jesus!
Covering the whole entire floor. But we would just do these like hard labor jobs for 12 hours a day, and you know, my dad like wouldn't even pay us. We would do it so that he would get paid. And when I turned 16, he was like, I'll get you this car. Like, I'll get you your first car. And I'm like, cool. Like if you would have paid me for all the work I did for you for years, I'd be able to buy like a lot better of a car. I was like, thanks, man. Like for sure.
That's what, you know, a lot of, I'm sorry, John. I know.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
That's what a lot of people don't know about here, about Cleveland specifically, is the work ethic.
It's like me talking.
I know the work ethic and the blue collar and all that. You know, where I'm sure in California, everything's different, but they probably don't understand that you have that work ethic. Mentality. It's instilled.
Well, and it carries over to the fighting. And now I'm like, okay, if I worked this hard for $10 an hour, but now I can make millions and millions of dollars doing this. That's like feeding a dog meat or feeding a lion like a cow. Like I'm hungry, I'm motivated, and I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
No, that's honestly like that's what I pretty much started. Like no mother wants their son to be like a prize fighter or something, like who ever. So, but I got done with college and all that stuff. I've told the story before. I was helping a guy out, and I just loved everything about it. The organization. I had something to do, kept me out of trouble. I just, I love being like in a weird way. I always love to be told what to do, like training wise. Like I have a schedule. I have training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, or whatever. But I just loved everything. And it became a puzzle to me. Like you got the itch, got the fire. I totally get it when you're coming with that.
Dude, the same thing here. Like kept me out of trouble.
Yeah.
Like you're on the straight and narrow, and then you have purpose.
Yep.
And
let's be honest here though for a second. It doesn't always keep you completely out of trouble.
Yeah, but like okay. Touche. I've been in trouble still, but like
we all have.
But yeah, like
Jake, how old are you, Jake?
I'm 24.
Yeah, you're a 24-year-old kid. I mean, I can't imagine. For Jamie, that was like a couple centuries ago. But for me,
King Arthur, that's when Jamie was around.
Yeah, that's when Jamie was born. No, Steve. I mean, like Stipe and I, we're a little bit older than you, but like, I mean, I can't imagine being in the place that you are at 24 and trying to like not have any slip ups. It's impossible.
No, you're under a microscope. That's what it is. So people are always, anything you do, they're going to be like, how dare you wear that shirt? That's
seriously.
Exactly.
It's like damned if you don't.
I can't believe you breathed today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you buy that person lunch? That was selfish of you.
When you're 24 years old and you're doing as well as you have in life, and you're able to buy houses, you're able to buy cars, like you're going to have neighbors who are fucking shitty, who they don't think you deserve it. They think you were a golden spoon and all that bullshit. And this dude at 24.
He's working hard, dude.
Fucking killing it.
Where he's at is because he worked hard work, not because he was giving it to it.
That's why I brought that son of mine here today, to see what hard work does.
Yep.
So
then your son works hard.
Yeah. Yep. And speaking of hard work, like, so we were talking about work, or Jake, you were talking about work ethic. Like a lot of people, there's like doubters, haters, whatever you want to call them. And like you go to work though, when you're in camp, you are going to work. And I feel like
we don't think of it, do?
What?
You know, I go to fucking work too when I go to camp. Like,
We're here
I know you do. I know you do. You do.
Throw me
You
in
do.
there then, dude. Don't fucking
Fine.
Fucking
Stipe goes
bullshit,
to
bro.
work too. No, he does like 8 to 10 week camp. You do your fight camp. I'm not sure how that's structured, but like, I mean, just go into like what your training looks like and like what that consists of. And, you know, after you finish a fight and you're looking at the next one, like how do you address things you maybe want to work on or improve on, or like, what's that look like?
Yeah. Great question. I take it very, very seriously all the way from the diet to recovery to training. But, it's 6 days a week, doing strength and conditioning circuits nonstop, like stair steppers, sprints, medicine balls, like tire flips, squats, like the whole 9 yards.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pass that one.
Bro, it's the hardest
Yeah,
thing.
it's the worst.
For some reason.
Bro,
like, why
like
is it
I'm
so
in
hard?
shape and I'll go up the steps. I'm like,
It doesn't make sense.
I'm a fight in 2 weeks. How am I breathing so heavy right now?
Bro, I get on that thing and I'm like, after like 6 minutes, I'm like, oh, what's going on here?
Am I ready for this fight?
Seriously. I'm like, bro, this is absurdly hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 2-a-days nonstop. You know, I have a stretch therapist. I have a mental coach. I do meditation. I do like stretching daily. You know, we're sparring 2 to 3 times a week.
That's the best, dude. I love sparring.
Sparring is my favorite.
Because like that's what gets you ready for the fight.
100%. You can do all the extra pads and bag, but it's so different when you're in there and to actually put your combinations together, to time everything, to work on what you're actually going to do in the fight. That's why, I love
Plus
sparring.
you got one plan A. Say plan A doesn't work, you got to go B, and B, and C. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out in that time frame you're sparring, or what, you know what I mean, how to figure it out. Because like sometimes it's not gonna be your day. Like I've been there, you know, like I go in there and I have kids that amateurs are just destroying me. I'm like, what the hell? Like,
What the hell is
like
going
one of the best
on?
fighters in the world. I'm getting my dick kicked in by a freaking kid that's like, you know, 4 or 5 amateur. Well, not to that extent, but like, you know, I'm not having the best day I should have, you know, but then I have to change it up and then I figure a better way out.
Yeah, that just happened to me recently. Like I had a bad day in sparring.
It's the worst.
But I think it puts me in a bad mood for like 2 days until the next sparring session. But I learn more about myself in those moments than I do just by like kicking everyone's ass.
Yeah. Like they say, you learn more from a loss than you do from a win.
Yep.
And I believe that 100%. You know.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw my last fight, but I went sleep though, so I don't know that one. But I literally put a guitar.
That's right.
I was posting it on my story. I was like, "Let's go, Stipe!" Like,
and then I was sleeping.
Yeah, and I was like,
I get it.
I was like, damn.
I heard it too in the realm. I was like, oh my god.
Bro, like
it happens. Listen, it's life.
It's the fight business.
Anything can happen, dude. Listen, you can't really good punch. What are you gonna do? It's life.
Are you going back after him? Like, the trilogy needs to happen.
Thank you. Yeah. So they have the interim belt now, and then I guess they're gonna fight, and then Dana, I guess, out of nowhere said I get the winner of the interim and Francis fight. I'm like,
it should be.
I'm like, whoa, like, you know, because like you, they don't like me either.
It's so weird, man. You're the.
Well, he says, you're like, nah, I don't think he likes me. Because we were talking earlier. I was like, dude, me, Jake, dude, Cleveland, just to see, you know, just throw it out there. Like, dude, let's kill it. We'll make some money. He's like, fuck that. I was like, okay, yep, you don't like him either.
It must be. It must be like an Ohio thing.
I don't know.
Cleveland, like I don't know what it is.
Well, you know what? We don't run our mouth. That's what it is. Like you run your mouth, but the only reason you run your mouth is because someone's talking shit to you. So I do the same thing.
Yeah.
No one's really talked shit to me in my career. If they do, I'll come back. You're witty like I am. I'll fire back.
Clap back.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't sit there. I don't need to go out of my way and hurt someone's feelings. I got other shit to worry about.
Yeah.
I have said this from day one that you came up with Conor McGregor, and that was it.
That was it, yeah.
That's what he wanted. You're not that at all.
Nope.
So speaking of Conor McGregor.
Nice dropping, Jamie.
The chain.
Classic.
It doesn't get any better.
You gave it, Dustin, right? I just saw,
So I just shipped it to Dustin.
Note. You left the note.
Yeah, I basically was like, congrats. You deserve this way more than I do. Good always beats evil. P.S. Awesome. Tell Jolie I said hi. She's a badass. Because the picture of Jolie, his wife flipping off McGregor.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was awesome.
There's an art to trolling, Jake, and I feel like you've mastered it. Like it cuts on so many good levels when you're like trolling like Conor McGregor or Dana White. Like you called out Dana White recently. for not paying fighters, and you just literally like the chirps are fantastic.
Thank you, man. Yeah, look, I mean, I didn't start like some beefs I've started like, you know, sometimes, but the beef with Dana White, I didn't even start. Like that he started it by saying that he was gonna bet $1 million on Ben Askren to beat me, and that's when I was like, oh, this guy wants smoke. Like I wasn't even talking about him, and then boom, all of a sudden that's where the beef started. And then after I knock him out, he says the fight is rigged. I'm like, bro, like. Yeah. Now, let's do this then. Like, let's beef. You want to beef? Well, let's beef. That's what
when they asked me at the interview, and they're like, I'm like, listen, dude. I'm like, talking about you. I was like, he's getting better, dude. Like, you can physically see he's getting better, which is scary. He's new to it, like, and he's getting that good that fast. And I'm like, that's like when you fought Ben. You know, I'm like, listen, you know, Ben's tough. He's fought the best. He's never really been knocked out, but it's a fight, and the dude's getting better. And look what happened.
Yeah. And look, if I have a great team around me, which I do, like the progression is going to increase, and knowing that people don't want to see me win, like drives my progression even more.
Oh yeah. Welcome to my life.
You said what within 3 years, you know, your goal, you're fighting for a title.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like I want to become world champ.
That's great, dude.
Just because.
Yeah.
Like not even necessarily because I want the belt, but I just want to be like, yeah, like
I did that.
People said I wasn't a real fighter, and then I became a world champion.
Yeah.
Like what now? What can you say now?
Yeah, trust me. I know that feeling. I've been written off many of times, and
John writes you off every day.
Dude, yeah. Well, it's time I haven't good around people good around you. Want you talk? Yeah. Trying to get these two out and find two new people.
Two better people.
Well, actually, Jamie, I do like Jamie. Jonathan, not so much.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
If he was really supported, he'd be here right now, missing his vacation.
I'm on borrowed time. So.
But isn't it crazy, like how fickle like the audience is, or like
stay with a fan, man.
It's so
because like 1 minute you're on top of the world, you lose, then everyone hates you.
Yeah,
it's crazy, dude. And, but like you said, like that team aspect, though, it's what it is, man. It's like they don't even have to be great. They just know, like my set of coaches, they're all great. Like in my mind, they're great for me, but they all work together. There's no arguing. If there's a thing, they sit down, we hash it out. Like not even argument, just sit down. We need to figure this out. We figure it out, and there we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like that's you want the high energy, you want the good energy, and like the whole fight week, man. We sit there, I'm drinking wine, playing cards, like talking shit. You know, like it's great.
Everyone has to be on the same page.
Exactly.
Because like game plans and, you know, what to do in each moment and what to focus on inside of each camp, the coaches like have to be aligned. Yep. And it's like super important, even down to like strength and conditioning and rest.
So what does your team look like? What kind of coaches do you have? Like I know Stipe's team inside and out. What do you know? So
I have my head coach, BJ Flores. Mm-hmm. You know, he was fought for 3 world titles, amazing boxing experience, was a boxing analyst. And then I have my assistant coaches, Jacob Chavez and Jay Leon. Jay Leon's like from the Money team, like trained under Floyd Mayweather, 30 fights. Then I have a strength and conditioning coach, D-Cut is his name, stretch coach, Ebach. My mind coach, his name is Lucas. And I'm forgetting people right now.
You got a big team, man.
Yeah, right. I would have like a journal. I'll be like, all right, that's Tom. Tom is my nutritionist.
I have a chef, like all of that.
That's awesome,
like,
dude.
So
that's my wife.
And then there's the content team. Like there's a lot of us, man. It's like,
well, but that's why where you're at is just because you're organized. You know what you need. You know what needs to be fulfilled.
100%.
And like, but I wanted to get back to like talking about you have a mind coach like that. I think the one thing that helped me in my career, I lost to Struve, and I legit thought I was like, I'm done. I don't want to fight anymore. Like how I lose this dude, like I was like butt hurt, you know. And then we have a friend that she's a psychiatrist, and so I went to go talk to her, and it was crazy because like we would talk about fighting for like the first 5 minutes of the hour, and then after that it was just my life. But I would walk out of there with like a weight off my shoulders. I felt so great. It was the best thing that I've ever done. And then I have like a chiropractor. Like it's one thing I really love is having a chiropractor. And then like I don't have like a massage thing. I told my wife, I was like, hey, there's a place on the street, rub and tug. She wasn't really into it. Like she was like, no, it's not. I'm passing that one. But I was like, all right. I mean, it's only $60 an hour, right? So
I only need 10.
Not even, yeah. So she 5, but she got 10 for putting clothes back on. But yeah, no, I get it though. Like having a whole core of people that you need, and just like it's awesome. Like and like everyone just mends like well. That's the one thing is that everything. Because if someone's not mending, they're out. Like get out. I don't care.
No, seriously, it's one of the most important things, and fighting is like so mental. That's one thing people don't realize.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in your own head and you're not confident, then that's going to show in the ring. You have to be mentally prepared for everything.
I try to do that shit on Call of Duty. It does not work at all. This title kid fucking me up, and it's making me so mad. You know, I'm getting better. But these fucking kids are good.
Yeah,
I will win. I will win.
Yeah.
Jake, you said earlier in the podcast, you said that like you knew going into those fights, you're like, I knew what I had to do, and I knew everything, you know, like that I wanted to do, how I envisioned the fight going, and everything like that. So, and Stipe, you just mentioned going to see a sports psychologist. I got to imagine your mind coach helps you get in the right mind frame when you're about to get into a fight. And so, along with that, what does like your fight week look like? I know we've covered Stipe's fight week in the past on a past podcast. Like, what does your week look like leading up to that fight?
You know, the training camp's pretty much finished and all the hard work is done. It's sort of like a couple shakeout workouts just to stay loose and to cut a little bit of weight off. But very chill. Like most of the time I'm off my phone. I put like a time limit on my phone.
God bless you.
And
I'm playing like fucking Bubble Square, Angry Birds.
I just like to be away from it and like be present.
Yeah.
I watched The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. And the biggest thing I took away from that was like just how present he was, because there wasn't really phones then. You just see him like playing cards all the time, like playing games. So I just like try to really be present in the moment, talking to my friends, like making the little moments fun. Yeah. But I'm sleeping a lot, and then I do a lot of meditation leading up to the fight, a lot of visualization, envisioning how exactly I want the fight to go. And so far it's worked.
Do you ever catch yourself thinking about it and you're like, you start moving one way,
bro,
jamming, like, you know.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night because like it's hard for me to fall asleep.
Yeah.
That's the worst part, is just thinking about the fight over and over again. So I just try not to.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I'm trying to not think about the fight.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about the fight. It's like,
you ever see him sleeping? He's like throwing punches.
No, I literally like will wake up and be like, oh my God, I'm not fighting.
Yeah. I've actually dropped an elbow on my wife one time. I think I hit her shoulder. Thank God.
She dropped two back at you.
Yeah, she punched me.
She swung back.
Yeah, she was awake.
Do you guys do a team dinner like the night before the fight?
We always usually stay like, we've always fought in like remote locations. Gotcha, so we're all in like a big house together.
Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah. Okay.
So we're like, it's that camaraderie.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I watch a lot of film, leading up to the fight as well. And there's a lot of film on Tyron too. So just like seeing his tendencies.
Yeah, that's what it is. And so like with my coach, they watch film before, and I don't study it all. I let them study it the whole, like for like 8 weeks of the camp. And the last 2, I watch film.
Yeah.
Because everything I've been working on, I see what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing it. And that's what, and then I watch.
That's perfect.
Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone has their different things and stuff like that. But like, 100%. Film's the way to go. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't watch film. Like, God bless you, dude. Like, because there might be something you see, like when I fought DC the second time, social media, I always say, is a motherfucker. And I was watching him do his open workout, and every time he threw a punch, he would bring his hands up. I'm like, man, leave that body wide open. I was like, I should hit it sometime. Yeah. So I hit it in the second round, I think it was, and then I just didn't do it again. And then like I just had a brain freeze for a little bit. And then finally I was like, I hit him. I was like, that worked pretty good. Let's try it again. Brian, well, fuck it. Did it again. I'm like, and you're done. Like I knew it right then. I'm like, it's over.
Yeah, it was that 3 to the body, to the liver.
Yeah, sometimes I wasn't even setting it up. I was just like fake.
Yeah,
kind of a setup. But I wasn't really throwing anything behind it. I was throwing a leg kick and a body shot. I was like, shit, so I can
chop the tree down.
Yeah, exactly what it was. So
we touched on like the pre-fight stuff, the stuff before the fight. So like after the fight, you talk about how you're so focused through the entire camp, Jake. Like we've told stories on the podcast before about Stipe after fights, and we've gone out to bars and had a good time and everybody lets loose. Like, what is it like when after the fight ends and you literally get to be like, oh, it's over with? You know what I mean? I can sit there and have fun.
It's the biggest weight off your shoulders, man. I love the after fight festivities more than anything, because you know you get to enjoy yourself, have a drink, and be there with your friends and family. Because even leading up to it, like in training camp, everything's so serious, intense. It's hard to just like fully relax. You know, you got like your testosterone's built up from, you know, not having sex, and like, you know, just the relief afterwards is amazing.
Best
I've
15
got
seconds of her life.
best 15 seconds. Well, it's funny. Like we've had sex, like my girlfriend's here, but we've had sex like longer than after the fight, longer than all my fights have lasted. So
that's fantastic. That's awesome.
It's like more rounds.
I think I saw. Where did you fight Askernet? Where were you at?
We were in Atlanta.
That's where, yeah.
So then at the after party, I saw you at MGK there. Wasn't Evie there? Was Evie DJing? Oh,
That was for my brother's fight against Mayweather. Right. But yeah, everyone in Cleveland was in Miami for when my brother fought. And it just turned into Cleveland like show.
Yeah.
And Kel said to me, he's like, bro, and to me and Logan, he's like, dude, like, look at what we are doing. Cleveland is taking over. Like, I think he had just won the award for like best rock album.
Yeah.
And then Logan's fighting Mayweather, and then we're all just there. It was a really cool moment.
Yeah. So going back to the one video where you had with Logan after the fight, and you were there, and you know, you had the security guard in your face. And then afterwards, in the locker room, you were talking to him, and he said something along the lines, and it's not verbatim, but he said something along the lines of, I'm having that what now moment. Because everything leading up to that moment has been Floyd Mayweather, where for you, it's going to be Woodley, right? So do you have that same thing afterwards where you're like, fuck, I just did this for whatever, 8-10 weeks, and then I knocked him out in a minute and a half. What now?
Yeah, it's a really weird feeling. You almost feel like lost in a sense, because you have one focus and one goal. Yeah. And then afterwards, you have nothing to even do. Yeah. You just wake up and you're like, I can do anything. So it's fun, but then at the same time, it's like, well, I don't have a purpose now. So like, it is a little bit weird of a feeling. But for me now, I've just found like, why not fight again?
Yeah,
just keep it going.
Love it.
Because that's the beautiful thing is like I'm in charge of my own promotions. So like, I'll just keep going. Yeah. Like, why not? If I'm already in shape. Yeah. And if I say I'm a fighter, then let's keep fighting.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean,
so 2 quick points. Sorry, Stipe. 2 quick points I wanted to touch on was how quickly do the wheels start turning after that fight ends of like, all right, this is what I'm going to start working on next. So that was the one thing. The other thing was, once you like, start moving on the next thing, you talked about your promotion, like you control your own promotions. So is that anything you like down the road where you want to just start outright promoting fights on your own? Is that something you're looking at? So like 2 parts to that one. How quick do the wheels start turning? And then do you want to promote stuff on your own?
Yeah, I mean, we've been moving pretty fast. I think this will be my 4th fight in 2 years or 20 months. So, you know, staying pretty active. And there's a lot of people who want to fight me. So
it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And I'm like, after the fight, I'm like, all right, I need to like go on vacation. You know, I need a break. And then a week later, my body, they're like, we want you to fight again. Showtime. Da, da, da. And then my body even too is like, go on a jog. Go on a jog.
You guys are tying your shoe. You're like, fuck, stop tying my shoe.
Yeah, like, I don't want to jog right now. Like I just want to get drunk and eat pizza.
That's my Taco Bell breakfast. That's all I want.
It's like, go on a jog. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna start training again. Yeah. So that's really how it's been so far. And doing my own promotions. I created my own promotions company called Most Valuable Promotions, and in partnership with Showtime. And that's the goal is make events and sign fighters, and you know, who knows where it'll go. But taking things like looking at Golden Boy Promotions or Mayweather Promotions, you know, those are some of the biggest promotions company, but it's like the model's a bit outdated. So I wanted to bring like a new angle to it with the social media, with younger fighters, and just doing things differently. So
that's one thing I'm getting better at too. Like I don't understand. Like I'm getting better with social media. I'm good with it, but like I just need to get better. A lot of times I'm lazy. It's what it is. Like I just don't like, I want to do a story right now, which I need to do, and I'm getting better with it. But off subject, because I remember we'll talk about fighting a little bit. We've talked about fighting the whole time. So it's only a random story. So I dated a girl from Westlake once.
Oh, really? How did it go?
We dated for a little bit, but then she went to college and, you know, just fell apart. But the one story I did have in Westlake was, I'm not going to tell a guy's name because people know who he is, but yeah, we were at a friend's house and this kid was dating this girl and they were broken up. And then my buddy was hitting on her and he's like, I'm coming over to beat ass. And I'm like, I'm on the phone with this dude. I'm like, you sure? I'm like, I know it's a good idea, dude. Like, I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. So I hang up and the girl, what did he say? I'm like, just come over to beat ass. So the dude rolls up. I'll never forget. He was an 18-year-old kid, rolls up in this like brand new BMW, like system blaring. I'm like, man, dude, I had like this 1989 Jimmy with like a huge dent in the side of the car. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
his dad like, got it for him.
100%. And so dude comes out with this like, they have no shirts on, like, or cut off shirts. The one dude's like jacked up. And so the one dude, his buddy comes out of the car. He's a big dude, and my buddy grabs the guy's, "What's up, dude? You got a problem?" They start like pushing each other. I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And then all of a sudden, he locks up with him. My buddy's like, "I'm a wrestler, bitch," and he literally suplays this dude onto cement. Right? And I was like, "Oh," you know, I was like, "That was sweet." You know?
It's a street fight.
So, yeah, exactly. And well, his buddy, dude, I don't care who you are, like. If my friend's fighting and like I see that, I'm gonna try to break it up because he's getting his ass beat. So I'm trying to help him out, you know?
Yeah.
This dude went to go. I'm like, no, you're good, dude. You touch him, you're gonna fight me. And the dude was like,
okay.
He really sat there and didn't do words. So anyway, they're getting into it, right? All of a sudden, he starts fucking this dude up, and he gets on all fours. I'm like, all right, dude, let's go. He's done. Let him go. He straight field goal kicks him in the face, right? I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, we're done. Does it again, dude, right? Dude, does it twice. This dude's. I'm like. We gotta go now. We gotta go now.
We gotta go.
Both of it. That was my experience in Westlake.
It's never been back since.
Never.
That's probably the last street fight that's happened.
It was crazy. He literally supleted him like he was a Greco guy too, and he just straight up over his head onto the suplex. I was like, that's 5 points.
5 points.
I was like, I was like, that was nasty. And then he was Ray Finkel and booted him twice in the face. I was like, okay, it's time to go. I'm like, they're going to leave. We're going to leave. And
a lot of people think they can fight until they fight a fighter.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's so like, I've had this experience. I was training for my Nate Robinson fight, and this like NFL athlete guy came into the gym and was like, bro, like I'll literally beat you. Like I'm bigger than you. He was like 6'4".
Yeah.
Like pretty buff. My coach was like, all right, come in for sparring. I'll bet you $100 you don't last 2 rounds. And he comes in and I drop him in the first round.
Shit.
And afterwards I knocked his tooth out. And afterwards he was like, man, it's a lot different in there. Like,
yeah.
So that actually reminds me, man.
You scared me. You scared me. I was like, who the fuck is that? And then I forgot I thought you were in the corner. You scared the shit out of me.
We got an email earlier today. We posted something from your presser, and somebody emailed us earlier to ask if have you guys ever sparred? Have you guys ever? No.
That's what I'll ask you. Do you ever spar with your brother?
No. We never sparred.
I just didn't know.
Our coaches haven't let us.
Yeah. Probably good.
Yeah,
like a lot of aggression will get out. He's like, you remember you fucking took my bike that one time, bitch? You know?
It was personal.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And everyone else in the gym, like would feel our energy.
Yeah.
It'd be off. Like, cause if I beat him, then he's going to be pissed off and like embarrassed.
Yeah.
Until if we sparred again. And then if he beat me, I'd be like,
yeah, pissed off. Yeah.
Bro, I can't.
But you can take him, right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Look
at you. I just
have more experience.
Yeah.
So like it
but
just
he's gotten better too, man. I haven't seen videos of him, man. He's looking great.
He's looking great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after he just came back to the gym to spar after the Floyd fight, which is first sparring back. And he was just like kind of messing around, but I saw a different, version of him. Just because like you come out of a fight with Floyd, you're gonna have a different confidence, a different mentality.
Greatest of all time. You're going to a guy like that. Don't care who you are and how size you are. That dude's good. That dude's really fucking good, and you're rated very, very well.
Exactly. Yeah. So like he's a beast, man. But
you can still pick him.
Yeah, but I can still pick him.
100%. But,
One question, I don't know where we're at on time or how much time we got left, but one question I wanted to get in though for you, Jake, was so you and your brother obviously both moved out to LA when you were really, really young. It's like, what was that transition like coming from Ohio, which is like super Midwestern, what most people would consider like, down home, everything. And then you guys move out to LA and like, what was it like experiencing all that, like super young like that?
Yeah. So it was a lot. It was a lot. It was like going into a completely different world. I always knew I wanted more, and I didn't know what it was, because growing up here, you're taught to do one thing, like go to school, get a job, get a wife, have kids. And I just never felt like I fit in. And I like wasn't very happy, like, but I didn't know what was wrong with me.
yeah.
And so when I went to LA, I just like all of a sudden fit in. And it was like, I was this kid with this big imagination, and there in LA, like anything was possible, so Cleveland and Ohio, it's the Midwest, it's a little bit of a bubble.
Yep.
And so, and my parents had never been out of the bubble. They didn't know what the rest of the world was like. And I'd never traveled. I'd never really even been on a plane. And so like I get plopped into this city, and at 17 years old, living in an apartment with my brother by myself, and like my eyes widened, and like I just had started to dream big and like wanted so much more, and like wasn't scared of anything because of how excited I was, and just started, auditioning, started acting, started making videos, doing content, because I wanted to like be just in a TV show, or I wanted to be in a movie. And that's really where it all started. But it was definitely a major transition. And the thing is though, like that I don't like about it, which is why I moved out eventually, is like the people there. At first, everyone seems nice, but they're just being nice to use you or get something out of you.
That's like Jonathan.
Yeah. So you just, you just are like, like, what is this? Like, this isn't real life. And you eventually get sick of it. And the people out there are just like ruthless, and everything there is about money and fame, and everyone's like, it's cool for a bit, but I got sick of it very quickly.
I'm sorry. Did you have any fame before you moved out there?
I had like maybe 100 or 100,000 followers.
That was Vine.
That was Vine.
On Vine. Yeah, okay. Right. You watch. I always watch you, but so we tried that. We started doing that. I like 2 videos.
Listen, it's the only question I've wanted to ask you this whole time, because I'm the old man here. How the fuck did you get famous?
Yeah. It's a good question.
I mean that with all due respect, man.
No. So, my brother and I got a video camera from our dad to record our football games when we were like 9 and 11 years old. And so we took the camera, recorded our football games to see how we could play better. But then we were bored one day and just like started filming in our backyard, like me drifting on the 4-wheeler, or jumping on the trampoline, or throwing the football. And that's when YouTube came out. And so we started watching these YouTubers, and we thought it was the greatest thing on earth, like the greatest entertainment. And we were inspired by these up and coming YouTubers at the time. And we just started making our own versions of those videos, like almost replicating them. And we did that for years, like slowly built the following. We started off getting like 5 views, then 100 views, then 1,000 views. And we were just doing it for fun, but we were just really like developing like a skill for filmmaking.
Great skill.
Yeah. And without even knowing what was going on and what really the internet or the power of the internet was going to become. And then Vine came out, and just for fun started making videos on there. But I remember my friends in school, being like, that was funny. Like, that was good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? Like, okay, I'll do another one. And boom. And then I just started doing it like every 3 days. And then Logan started doing it. And one of the videos that we made just got a bunch of traction. And from that day on, we were like, okay, that's how you go viral. And wow, we just grew 3,000 followers. And I remember like someone coming up to me in the North Olmsted Mall, and they were like, yo, can I take a picture with you?
Oh, shit.
And I was like, what?
That's crazy.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like you want to pick, they're like, I love your vines. And I was like, wow, this
Gotta
is
do it for the vine, baby.
do it for the vine. And so like just never really stopped. And that one thing led to another. That was really
That's awesome.
Yeah, YouTube, man, like it's crazy. It's like addicting because like I'll be just watching something I need to do. Like I'll be watching how to like put up a shelf, and next you know I'm watching people with spider bites.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the next it's 2 hours later, and I didn't put up a shelf, and I'm watching.
You're getting yelled at by the
Yeah,
wife.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then like it's like my daughter too. Like you know they have like they have like the kiddie version of,
Oh, yeah.
of YouTube, but I just use regular YouTube, and she knows how to like already scroll through and pick the videos she wants. And the crazy part is like at one point she was like doing like it was like Russian or something, and she's like singing in Russian.
It's crazy.
It was
That's
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah, she's like she watches it so much, and she knows like.
I'm telling you, YouTube University, man.
Telling you, man,
That's
it's
all
crazy.
you need in life
It's
anymore.
crazy, man. And the good thing about it was that I know she's learned a lot from it. Like she learned how to count more. She, you know, what I mean, it was crazy. It's just, it's a great tool. But, you know, I mean, it can be, for me, it's not good because I don't do anything because I sit there and watch videos all day long and I can't stop because it's like, you know, 1 minute's this, and then I'm like, oh my god, like a car accident. Oh, I gotta watch this now. You know what I mean? Like,
It's entertaining. It's built to be addicting.
Yeah.
And they know what you like to watch.
yeah.
So they like track you and then recommend the
Did
best
you ever see
videos.
the documentary? Was it Social Experiment?
Yeah,
Is that what it's
the
called?
social dilemma.
Social
Dilemma, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
Bro, it's so creepy.
It
Right?
is so creepy. Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was
Like,
gonna
I'm gonna
say,
put my
Jake,
phone down, delete.
Jake, have you ever seen? I know you obviously you and your brother both have worked with like YouTube and stuff like that. Like, have you seen behind the curtain a little bit on some of that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they love you until they hate you.
Yep.
You know, like,
Just like LA.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, they want to support you. They want to support the new up and coming creators. But then if you're doing something that they don't like, then they slap you on the wrist, which is part of the reason I was like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to be controlled by a platform.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And there's just too much at risk. They could just remove your channel if they want you to. And then like, what do you have?
Yep.
So,
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people, that's where they make money.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like that with an 11-year-old kid. He makes how much a year just opening up toys?
Opening toys, man. Yeah.
Right.
Count me in, dude.
Ryan
Count me in, dude. I'll open
That
toys
was-
all day.
Yeah, Ryan
Yep.
Story review.
Yep.
Yeah, there was like the Forbes study in like 2018. It was like top 5 highest paid YouTubers, and like I was number 2 behind Ryan.
Yeah. Who's
He's
opening
7 years
toys.
old, and the
Yes.
article was like so disrespectful to me, like, but in a funny way. They were like coming in second place behind 7-year-old.
Yeah, right, yeah, fuckers.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Send us toys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
dude, I'm down here. Like, listen, give me some Legos. I'll put
You
them
like your
together, dude.
mystery boxes.
Dude, I want to talk about. So, you ever go on like Facebook and they have like on Marketplace, they have like the mystery boxes. You pay like $20. You can get cool shit.
You get those?
I did one time, never again. Fuckers.
You didn't get anything?
No, it fucked me. I got to buy. It was like a fucking selfie stick thing, and
But
headphones.
what if?
well, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Well, I could
That's what brings you
have
back.
got exactly because I could have got like a Nintendo Switch.
All he
You
was
don't
talking
know.
about, he's like, I'm getting an iPhone 12. I'm getting an iPhone 12. I'm getting an iPhone 12. And then he got a selfie stick.
It's a cool selfie stick. It's like one of those ones you can mold and screen.
It's great.
I like it.
Yeah.
I haven't used it yet, but it's cool.
Well, listen, we're hitting that 45-minute mark. We don't want to take up too much of
We
Jake's
got to
time.
train. We got to go train.
Yeah, we're about to go get some rounds.
John, you got anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Jake, for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
John, take us out.
All right.
I don't know any.
If anybody lives under a rock, Jake, let them know where they can find you on social media real quick.
Yeah, hit me up at Jake Paul. I'm gonna be trolling Tyrone Woodley until the fight. So come enjoy the show.
That's good. Actually, at first I was like, no, I'm like, now I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now.
We do know at least John and I will be at the fight, and Stipe's.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
There's
still,
a baby on the way,
yeah,
so
selfishly,
Oh, so you
my
might not
wife-
be able
yeah.
to pull up.
So my wife said she does not have the baby. She's going to the fight. I said, oh, fair enough, because he'll be there. He's also a paramedic too, so she's in good hands. I don't want him.
I would love to deliver. Your
I would
baby.
not like you.
I'll
Oh,
deliver the
my
shit
God.
out
Yeah,
of
go
you.
talk. I'm so mad you're not bringing it up. But then, so if she doesn't have the baby because it's in that week or two, so she might go depending if she has a baby. If not, depending what day.
I'm gonna try and manifest the baby to be born
Jake, I'm gonna make sure.
afterwards.
That'd be great.
Jake, I'm gonna make sure he's there.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, here's another. I probably will go unless the baby's born that day. I mean, I
Yeah,
probably
that'd
won't
be
go.
crazy.
I mean,
but also,
like,
I feel like it'd be good luck for me.
That'd be great
Oh,
luck
yeah.
for you.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
I'd be like
you go.
little Stipe is
Yeah.
coming into the world.
He's a little fucker already, man. I'm
So,
watching him, dude. He's fucking
before John sends us out, man, for real, thank you
Yeah,
for
dude,
coming on.
dude.
100%.
That was fucking, dude.
Thanks for letting us
You
come
have no
hang out
idea,
today
dude.
too. That
awesome.
was
Yeah.
fucking awesome to watch. Thanks for saying hello to my son. You're a fucking hero of his. So and thanks for your message towards him. He's
Amazing.
all these kids, man. It's work your ass off and you can do what you're doing. So
Exactly.
I'm still doing it. I'm 38.
And then,
Let's
go.
go out there and kick Woodley's ass next month, man.
Cool.
Can't wait to watch it.
Love it.
Thank you guys so
Yeah,
much.
dude.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
seriously, thank you. Thank you guys, all you guys. Like, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Except you, you scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, dude. Like, we gotta talk about that. Dude. You came out of nowhere, dude. It was kind of dark.
It was
like,
the hair.
but it fucked me up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what
Who's
the fuck?
intruding?
Yeah, right. So, but yeah, thanks again, dude. Honestly, and John, you want to take us out?
We'd love to hear from you. Reach out to us, @jabs.podcast@gmail.com. You can find us on social media at Jabs Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Jabs Podcast. Just search it, click like and subscribe, hit the bell for post notifications. You can find Stipe at Stipe Miocic, Jamie at Mekalek, Mekalek. You can find me at JP Chubak. It's like Chewbacca without the CA. And we hate Rick Russo as always.
Hey, John, real quick, I have one question.
Nope, don't say it. We're gonna cut out. Cut out.
All right, dude. Well, hey, John, have fun fishing, man. We'll see you. Bye.
All right, later, guys. Thanks, Jake.
Peace out.